the Chi-Town experience on the flight. Let me go tune in to Keek on the mic. He gon' make sure we get our news and highlights. When you get on YouTube, you better hit the like.
The Chicago Bears currently only have $8.9 million left in cap space, so in an effort to give the Bears more flexibility, General Manager Ryan Poles could restructure these four contracts to generate $46 million in cap space. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. First and foremost, Bears fans, happy Saturday to every single one of you guys. I wanted to come on here really quick on today's episode of Keek on the Mic and just give you guys some hypothetical scenarios on the Chicago Bears cap space and how Ryan Poles can get to work to really give the Chicago Bears a little bit more flexibility by restructuring these four contracts. According to Over the Cap, the Chicago Bears are currently only at $8.9 million left in cap space for this year. Now obviously that includes all the signings and free agency, the contract extensions of TJ Edwards and Kyler Gordon. So obviously Ryan Poles is probably going to want to create a little bit of flexibility in his cap space because of course you still have a couple other things that you may want to accomplish as the GM of the Chicago Bears. Of course, you look at the Joe Thuney extension. We did trade for Thuney this past offseason from the Kansas City Chiefs, and he's currently on the last year of his deal. I know there's been kind of some rumors saying that he may only be a one-year rental. I hope that's not the case. I hope he's a little bit part of the long-term plans. Not really long-term. I know he's an older player, but at least giving him a 2-year extension to tie him to the Chicago Bears for the next 3 years would be a really smart move for Ryan Poles and the Bears. Of course, you have to consider the rookie contracts from the upcoming 2025 NFL draft, making sure you have enough money to pay all your rookies to give you that flexibility as well. And then, of course, you have to think about your late offseason additions and signings going into, the mandatory offseason programs and training camp later this summer as well. Maybe you save some money by restructuring these contracts and you land a guy like Zadarius Smith, a veteran edge rusher that can complete your defensive line here in Chicago. So adding more cap space is not a dire need, but it can be important at times just to give Ryan Poles and the Bears a little bit more flexibility. So as I'm going through these four restructures on today's episode of Keek on the Mic, make sure you guys continue to show me a lot of love and engage with me down below in the comment section. The first restructure I can see Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears doing is edge rusher Montez Sweat. You can save an easy $13.2 million save by just restructuring Montez Sweat's contract. I'm really excited to see Montez Sweat play this year. This has nothing to do based on performance. This has everything to do with, once again, giving Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears just more flexibility in their cap situation. But obviously having a big $13.2 million save would be huge for the Bears cap flexibility and situation. Moving on to wide receiver DJ Moore. Restructuring his contract would save the Bears $15.7 million against their cap space. So obviously just by restructuring Montez Sweat for 13.2 and DJ Moore for 15.7 would instantly generate $28 to $29 million in cap space for the Chicago Bears, giving them the flexibility for other extensions, rookie contracts, and other late offseason signings they want to make to this roster. Now looking at cornerback Jalen Johnson, you can save $9.8 million in cap space by restructuring Jalen Johnson's contract. And obviously, when you think about these restructuring the contracts, you have to make sure that these players are okay with this. That's why this is just hypothetical. But most of the time, in a situation where you are trying to win now, you are trying to make more moves for your roster. Most of the time, these veteran players are willing to make these restructures for the betterment of their organization. I can definitely see Jalen Johnson restructuring his contract a little bit, and obviously the Bears save almost $10 million in cap space by restructuring Jalen Johnson's contract. The last restructure I can see Ryan Poles and the Bears making is with linebacker Tremaine Edmunds. They save $6.8 million in cap space. I know there's a lot of Bears fans out there saying that this should be a move that needs to be done just based off the performance of Tremaine Edmunds. I'm not saying that he has been bad by any means, but for what we paid in terms of his contract a couple of years ago in free agency, it hasn't lived up to his contract. So I think this is something that would be a very smart financial move for Ryan Poles and the Bears. And once again, you're able to save almost $7 million in cap space just by restructuring linebacker Tremaine Edmunds' contract. So if they hypothetically did all four of these restructures, which is not really likely, but it's not unlikely as well, they could save almost $46 million. So $45.5 million in cap space. And once again, that would give you the flexibility to make that Joe Thuney extension, which I feel should be one of Ryan Poles' last remaining highest priorities this offseason. Obviously, having enough money for your rookie contracts and obviously the late offseason signings. Now with that extra $45.5 million, you can go to Cedarius Smith, which I feel like he's still a very good player in the National Football League, and make that huge signing for him to come over and give, Montez Sweat and Dayo Odangbo a true running mate and to really complete this defensive line, right? So Bears fans, let me know how you feel about these four restructures. Once again, I'm not saying all these are going to happen. Personally, if I were Ryan Poles, I would really go to Tremaine Edmunds and save that almost $7 million in cap space. And of course, you can maybe choose, going to Montez Sweat or DJ Moore to save a little bit more. If you're able to get all four of these done, this would be an amazing, amazing thing for Ryan Poles once again to give him more flexibility and almost add $46 million in cap space. So Bears fans, before I let you guys go on today's episode of Keek on the Mic, I want to kind of give you guys a quick little update because there's been a lot of questions surrounding running back DeAndre Swift about maybe the Chicago Bears possibly trading DeAndre Swift prior to the 2025 NFL Draft. As we all know, Ryan Poles paid DeAndre Swift $24 million over 3 years last offseason, but there has been a lot of Bears fans that want the team to actually trade DeAndre Swift, and it goes back to, his days with Ben Johnson and how after playing only 1 year under Ben Johnson, the Detroit Lions traded him away to the Philadelphia Eagles. And right when Ben Johnson was named the Chicago Bears head coach, there was this conspiracy that, maybe Ben Johnson just doesn't like DeAndre Swift. Obviously Ben Johnson has come out before and said, hey, we want to augment, we want to upgrade the running back room. But never once has he said anything bad about DeAndre Swift. And I know he probably wouldn't do it in public, so I'm not really sure how he truly feels about DeAndre Swift, but it seems like by the sounds of it, they're just trying to compliment Swift with a new rookie running back in the 2025 NFL Draft. But when you look at DeAndre Swift, last year he had a career low 3.8 yards per carry, 959 rushing yards, and 6 rushing touchdowns. And you have to remember, this was behind a not so great O-line. He had his very first Pro Bowl nod in 2023 with the Philadelphia Eagles. So you have to take in consideration when you're looking at the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line in 2023 compared to the Chicago Bears offensive line in 2024, it is a major difference. That's what kind of intrigues me about keeping a guy like DeAndre Swift and not being so quick to trade him away, just due to the fact that Ryan Poles did a really good job of upgrading the Chicago Bears offensive line. So maybe we can see some massive results from DeAndre Swift, and obviously he can benefit from maybe a rookie running back like Ashton Jeanty or Marion Hampton as well, and that can really help him have a big season here in Chicago. But for example, DeAndre Swift is still 26 years old. If the Chicago Bears were to, for example, to double down in the NFL draft, let's say they get Ashton Jeanty and then maybe another running back late in this year's NFL draft, and they say, you know what, he's 26 years old. Let's see what his trade value is. The Bears could realistically save $6.6 million if they're able to trade DeAndre Swift before June 1st, and it would cause only a 2.6 dead cap in terms of his contract. At this moment, you're probably only looking at a late day 3 pick, maybe from rounds 4 through 7 for a guy like DeAndre Swift. There could possibly be somewhere out, some team out there that would still be interested in Swift. The only thing you have to get over that hurdle, it is his contract. It's not like a massive contract, but that's still going to be a hurdle. Once again, it wouldn't be a huge investment of a 2nd or 3rd round pick. It would be anywhere from a 4th through 7th round pick. But if they really want to trade DeAndre Swift, which to me, I would at least give him 1 more year to see what he can do behind this improved, upgraded offensive line here in Chicago. And obviously having a running mate like Ashton Genty or Marion Hampton can definitely help his value in this Bears offense as well. So Bears fans, before I let you guys go, let me ask you guys this. Would you want Ryan Poles and the Bears to trade DeAndre Swift? Let me know down below what you would do in the comment section. But as always, Bears fans, make sure you guys continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Keek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, be back for our all new Bears podcast right here on Keek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Keek on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Keek on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Keek on the mic.